anytime you see a quarterback on a talented team and he isn't a Josh Allen, he isn't creating these magical plays like Patrick Mahomes. You see these commentators, these broadcasters, these whisperers, whatever you want to call them. They try their best to discredit these quarterbacks, from Brock Purdy to now Sam Darnold. You haven't heard any of this about Sam Darnold when he was playing for the Vikings until he won a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to know, where do we rank Sam Darnold now that he's a Super Bowl champion? Y'all know how I feel about quarterbacks winning Super Bowls. It is very important for a quarterback to win Super Bowls if you want to be ranked amongst the elites. You understand? And
Mm-hmm.
just because the Seahawks have the team they have, that doesn't discredit or take anything away from Sam Darnold, you know? And no one is giving Sam Darnold enough credit. Before becoming a Super Bowl champion, and now after winning a Super Bowl and becoming a Super Bowl champion.
Because it
Winning
don't
the
matter
Super
what.
Bowl isn't good enough.
I mean, it don't matter what team you have, you still gotta win a game. You still gotta make the plays when it count. You still gotta like. It's hard. Is I don't understand. I don't think people understand how hard it is to win a Super Bowl. Like we've talked about this a many a times. It's literally franchises that never even touched the Super Bowl. It's franchises that never even got close to a Super Bowl, and you can't discredit somebody for the situation they in to say this the reason why they won a Super Bowl. No, he still had to do his job. He still had to put their time in. He still had to put that work in and make the plays when they counted the most to get to that point of being a Super Bowl champion.
I mean, these guys on First Take or whatever show it was on ESPN, they seem to think differently. For some reason, I don't know what it is, but like I said, as soon as these quarterbacks seem to get a little notoriety, start feeling themselves, showing a little moxie out there, here comes the the experts. Here come the experts to tear them down. You know what I mean? But I think it's an injustice not to say Sam Darnold is a top quarterback. You know what I mean? But Ryan Clark, it's Ryan Clark and Stephen A. Smith, but specifically Ryan Clark. Ryan Clark can't seem to understand how to evaluate talent. In my opinion, he is far left when it comes to evaluating talent, you know, because when a guy like Ryan Clark put 8 other quarterbacks in front of the Super Bowl champion, Sam Darnold, that is a big, huge problem. That's a problem. And I want y'all to know, Ryan Clark is a guy that played football, but he doesn't understand the game. And now he's out of control. There's guys that played football and guys that played football understands the game. And some guys that play football understand the game and can teach the game to other people. Just because you played football doesn't mean these guys are vetted about the game. They understand the ins and outs. They know what fundamental football looks like. They understand what plays are supposed to be made in what coverage. You understand? When we talked about Sauce Gardner early this season when they were playing, I forget who it was specifically, but he was supposed to make a play and end up being a touchdown, and it looked like he was covering a guy that was going up the middle. And I specifically said that was a play that Sauce Gardner was supposed to make, but no one else felt that way.
Right. Yeah.
But go ahead.
Now I would say like what you're saying, the piggyback on what you're saying is players out there can have the perfect combine, but when it comes to play on the field, they could be the dumbest player ever. Like how you don't understand what's going on right now. But
Or
you look at
because they're fast, they test good, test
yeah, they
well,
do
and they have a little
all the
agility.
drills perfectly.
You're right.
They can do a drill perfectly.
And they would draft him because of that. That's the guy. That's who Ryan Clark would be as a general manager or a coach. You know, Ryan Clark, he just can't evaluate talent. He doesn't know when talent is hitting him right in the face. Basically, you know what I mean. At the end of the day, I think ESPN is paying Ryan Clark to embarrass himself. That's all I can figure out at this point. ESPN is paying him to embarrass himself and to be the front runner of anything they want to spew. Let's check Ryan Clark out.
How many quarterbacks, now that Sam Darnold has won a Super Bowl, would you take over Sam Darnold? I don't care about the conference. How many quarterbacks would you take?
Well, we have to care about the conference, Shay, because that's how the question was phrased.
Oh, I see. He doesn't have the list for the whole NFL? Got it.
So I don't have the entire NFL, so we're going
NFC.
In the NFC, how many?
I think he specifically wanted to pick a conference so he can say this mess. You know what I mean? It probably would have sounded 10 times worse if they would have said in the whole entire NFL. But he chose to go with a conference, I guess, to dumb down the embarrassment or the craziness he's about to spill.
Quarterbacks I take 8. I take Stafford, Hurts, Purdy, Mayfield, Love, Goff. They all win a Super Bowl with this Seattle Seahawks team right now. I take Williams, I take Daniels. Williams and Daniels, more upside than Sam Darnold. They showed more in this league in the first 2 years of their career. All of these quarterbacks, listen, put the camera on me. All 8 of these quarterbacks, if the starting quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks, they win the Super Bowl. And most of these quarterbacks, if they're the starting quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks, they beat the New England Patriots worse than they won with Sam Darnold. Now, I get it. Sam Darnold, I believe in him. He's a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback. He's a Pro Bowl.
Yeah, I know I'm ready to talk, but I'm going to let him finish. I'm going to let him finish because he's going in. And Drees, I want to hear what you got to say. Give your honest opinion as well. Y'all let me know in the chat, how do y'all feel about Sam Darnold being or 8 other quarterbacks in the NFC being better than Sam Darnold?
Quarterback. The last 2 years have been phenomenal. This is not a knock on Sam Darnold. This is, if I'm drafting these quarterbacks in the NFC, I take all of them before I take him.
Wow.
That last statement helped it out a little bit. That last statement helped it out. But I hate that when you say, if you put this quarterback in this team, he would do this. That quarterback not on that team. That quarterback had his situations and he didn't handle it correctly. So you can't say you put this quarterback on this team. I hate that conversation right there. Like, cut that part out.
The first thing I must address that Brian Clark said, he put Baker Mayfield in those 8 quarterbacks that he said are better than Sam Darnold. He says Baker Mayfield will win a Super Bowl if he was on that team with the Seattle Seahawks. Now, like you said, Drees, it's not fair. I see people, commentators, broadcasters continue to do this over and over and over. It's not fair to give other quarterbacks the hypothetical scenario and assume they can lead the Seahawks or a team that just won a Super Bowl like Sam Darnold has done. That is just malarkey, you know? Don't discredit Sam Darnold for winning the championship because he is on a talented team. He also did the same thing, didn't win the Super Bowl, but showed his talent for the Minnesota Vikings. People look at the talent of other quarterbacks and automatically assume those talented quarterbacks could be successful, or be as successful as the quarterback who just won a Super Bowl or who wins a Super Bowl, wins Super Bowl. I think that's horrible, man. I think that's lazy journalism, if that's what you want to call it. Lazy journalism or lazy doing your homework and research, you know? Just being a talented quarterback isn't enough to win a Super Bowl championship on a very talented team. Just because you're talented, Caleb Williams is very talented. You know? It could be, like you were saying earlier, Drees, it could be one play that Sam Darnold made, and for some reason, let's say Caleb Williams, like we were just talking about, another talented quarterback, wouldn't execute on that same play. Something just could go wrong in that one play. And who knows how much of the momentum would change because of that one play.
Sam Darnold kind of getting that treatment that Jalen Hurts got last year. Last year, the Eagles was like underdogs in the Super Bowl. They win the game. They like, oh no, they got a super team. Like any quarterback could do it with that team. But if y'all believe that in the beginning, why would they be underdogs the whole time until they win? It's like, oh, that was easy. Any quarterback could do that, and that's what they're doing to the Sam Darnold this year. Like any quarterback could do that with that team. Is it? Like no.
On paper, it sounds great. It sounds great that on paper, like, other quarterbacks look like they could finish strong like Sam Darnold did or like he has done. It sounds great on paper. And it sounds pretty credible, but it's far from the truth. And saying that you would draft Jalen Hurts, Brock Purdy, Baker Mayfield, Matthew Stafford, all these quarterbacks before Sam Darnold, it's just talking. It's just talk. Because how you played this past season doesn't mean these quarterbacks going to progress and get better. Doesn't mean these quarterbacks are going to play to the same level they have just played this past season. You see what I'm saying? Every season is a different season. Somehow, some way, these broadcasters, these commentators, whatever we want to call them, they like to combine a full career of what an athlete has done and project that on the recent play of the athlete. You see what I'm saying? You have to take year by year, what have you done for me lately for each position, especially at quarterback? Can we have said Matthew Stafford done better than Sam Darnold if he was playing for the Seattle Seahawks? Yeah, like I said, it sounds great on paper. Matthew Stafford, in his 15th, 16th season? Who knows what would have transpired in a game if Matthew Stafford, Brock Purdy, or anyone else was there? How can you just fix your mouth to say that these 8 other quarterbacks, including Baker Mayfield, would win a Super Bowl with the current team that the Seattle Seahawks just won the Super Bowl with? We have to stop that. We have to stop that. That's just bad. What you think, Dries?
Yeah, I agree with you. I feel like it's cool to have your opinion. I'm like, oh, this player good or better than Sam Darnold for this reason, but don't try to put that player on this team and say he would do better because listen, they're not on that team. You can't bring up that situation. They're not on that team. These people had their teams. They had these situations where they didn't come up. They came up short in a lot of those third downs where they win the game on the line and they wasn't able to make it to the Super Bowl. And Sam Darnold did. Like that game, not the Super Bowl wasn't close.
Give
but
him his
NFC, but the NFC Championship was a back and forth with Matthew Stafford, the guy they say was number one. They went back and forth, and when it was time for Sam Darnold to show up and make those plays, he did. So you gotta give him credit for doing what he did to go to the Super Bowl. No matter who he played or when it happened, who was on his team, he did it. Like give him credit.
Yeah.
Give him credit.
Yeah, I just think it's a weak argument and used when these people can't find enough negative criticism to take away from the quarterback's success, who had just won a Super Bowl. That's all it can be. What else? What other reason can people think of for a quarterback that just won a Super Bowl, made it through all the adversity that teams have to go through, all the injuries? I mean, the schedule, the traveling, everything that you have to go through to win a championship, the timing and everything, and expect that these other quarterbacks can just naturally do what Sam Darnold did. It's blasphemy in my opinion, man. It's blasphemy in my opinion, man. It's terrible. It's terrible. I don't know, man. Brock Purdy. I don't even know if Jalen Hurts could succeed in that offense the way Sam Darnold succeeded in the Seattle Seahawks offense. That is a good question. It's a good question. Yes, Jalen Hurts is extremely talented.
I feel like Jalen Hurts do best when it's a read option. If you read option, he got a threat with his legs. That's a total different offense than what Sam Darnold did. You know what I mean? Sam Darnold wasn't a threat with his legs. He sat back in the pocket and delivered passes. You know what I mean? Throwing 300 yards a game. That's not Jalen Hurts' game. Jalen Hurts is best when he got that option. Like, listen, I'm gonna throw run, and you've seen the struggles this year because they didn't do it a lot this year, and it hurt them.
Yeah, it's a good chance, man. I don't know, man. I'm predicting the Super Bowl already, man. I'm predicting one team because it's a good chance Seattle Seahawks.
You got the repeat already
this season. It's
a
good chance.
I don't know about the repeat.
Oh man, it's a strong possibility. They're a young team. I mean,
You didn't even see the off season yet. You didn't even see what's gonna happen. You don't know who's gonna be there.
Exactly. I mean, they're a young team. I mean, who is up? Whose contract is up? I mean, I don't know too many people that are players on the team that's free agents, right? At the end of the day, Sam Darnold was the missing piece to the puzzle.
Mhm.
And if anyone is a free agent, any significant player that's on that team, if their contract is up, I'm sure Seattle Seahawks will retain him. Just
I mean,
like the general manager was talking at the parade, acting crazy and weird, talking about Kenneth Walker was trying to negotiate me, and it was went silent. Like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Why would you say some foolishness like that at this moment? You know, and Kenneth Walker looked like a shy guy. He looks like he's kind of, he kind of
yeah, he a free agent right there.
Is he a free agent?
Yeah, I think he gonna be a free
Is he a
agent this
free agent
year.
or a restricted free agent? If he's a free agent, that's a no-brainer. I know they saying they have the other running back. What's his name? I can't think of the name. The one that got hurt. You know, they had that nice 1-2 punch. But if you're a general manager or the head coach, Kenneth Walker III is your guy.
Man, listen, you never play on that same team twice. It's like that locker room they was in a few days ago. You never in that same locker room again. It's gonna be a whole different team every single year. That's the thing about football. Like, you never on the same team twice in your life. That's crazy if you ever actually think about it.
Yeah. Let me see how many see who the Seahawks free agents are. Yeah, Kenneth Walker, Tyreek Woolen, Rashid Shaheed, Kobe Bryant. Man, these are no-brainers, bro. These are easy contracts to re-sign, brother.
Mhm.
Tyreek Woolen is probably one that is on the outs.
Yeah,
He probably aren't too sure. They didn't never feel too confident with him as the starting cornerback, and he's a liability in coverage. So they might let him walk because he's going to get a hefty contract. And but Kenneth Walker is definitely the number one target on the free agent list for the Seattle Seahawks. There's no doubt about it. And when they redo his contract, he will be the go-to man, the number one back for the Seattle Seahawks, and rightfully so. And Seattle Seahawks is a good chance they are going back to the Super Bowl and winning it. Honestly, the only two teams that I think, and now y'all straighten me out if I'm missing out. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to y'all teams or teams that's good out there. Y'all let me know if I'm missing out on some teams in the NFC. But I only see two teams that possibly can stop the Seahawks from repeating or getting to the AFC Championship, and I mean NFC Championship. And that's the New England. The Philadelphia Eagles. They have enough talent and a good team, good physical team that can, go to war with the Seahawks. And obviously the Los Angeles Rams. The Los Angeles Rams, that was in the same division. They play them very well, and they both have physical teams. When you're in the division, you draft and you sign free agents kind of to challenge your division to make sure that your team is more successful in the division first, because that's the first step to getting to the Super Bowl. And I don't know if the Minnesota Vikings are going to be able to bounce back under JJ McCarthy, the San Francisco 49ers. I think their talent, they're kind of going backwards in the talent category. Free agency is coming, the draft is coming. We got to see.
You gotta see what Matthew Stafford do too, man. If he gonna come back or not, that's still on the ropes too.
Yeah. Matthew Stafford is always.
I think he turned 38 or 39. He up there. Yeah. He won MVP. He won a Super Bowl. I don't know. He might.
I could see Matthew Stafford trying to come back for another season, man. It's hard to let it go, especially when your family, your wife is all up. If they down with the cause, unless they pressuring you to walk away because of injuries and family situations, then that's a different story.